The fictional obsession of a real-life murder is a strange and unique way of exploring female liberation and conscience raising in Mati Albadai's new film, In Her Place. This is Chile's official submission for the 97th Academy Award for Best International Feature Film. If you're new to my channel, my name is Paul, and I review the best of world cinema, and I follow the race for Best International Feature Film Oscar, from countries selecting their film to the final winner. So let's roll and review that film. The merging of documentary filmmaking with fictional feature filmmaking is a fascinating addition to cinema, and Albadai's previous film, The Mole Agent, managed to do this successfully, achieving a number of awards and critical praise. Her latest film, In Her Place, uses the more fictional elements of cinema making, and is her first proper fictional film. However, it uses real-life documentary footage based on a real-life event. This surrounds the 1950s author Marie-Caroline Guille, who committed a murder in broad daylight. Guille shot her lover, and in this film, we use a fictional character called Mercedes, who becomes obsessed with Guille, despite having never properly met each other. Mercedes is a paralegal in the murder case, and she starts noticing her own position within the patriarchal society, and the case provides her with incentive to understand that inequality. So is In Her Place an awards contender? Unfortunately, I don't think it is. I absolutely adored The Mole Agent and was a little bit disappointed by the content of this film. I loved the themes of the film, in particular showing Mercedes as this housewife who supports her husband through his photography business, often being better at running the business than himself. She is also, as her day job, a paralegal, where she experiences everyday sexism, such as she's not even allowed in the hotel, which is the crime scene of the story. There is a single white female element to this, where she realises the author is being on trial not just for the murder, but also for being a woman. There is elements of Anatomy of a Fall, although not done as successfully. I think the theme of her awakening to the inequalities she experiences is fascinating. She starts realising the inequality in distribution of labour, as well as the undermining of her contributions. And she sees this character, Maria, who, despite committing murder, is much more in control of her own life and is completely confident in her own ambitions. However, the film moves away from this feminist element and focuses too much on the obsession, which weakens its narrative. It feels really uneven and doesn't conclude satisfactorily. It could have used the obsession narrative in a very inventive way, such as exploring this idea that society is obsessed with female killers because women should not be violent. That should only be reserved for men. But this obsession element just conflicts with the rest of the film and really just fades out its good intentions. The acting is very strong and is definitely watchable, and there are some good moments of cinematography. And on the surface, it looks a very good film. However, it has this undertone of melodrama, which I think is fair. However, it just creates this conflict in what it's trying to achieve. The melodrama just underplays the satirical points it's trying to make. In Her Place is a very watchable film, but it's just conflicted in what it's trying to do. And maybe there's an element of me wanting this film to be a different type of film. Therefore, I would give In Her Place 3 stars. I would also rank it 7th out of the 10 Best International Feature Film Oscar submissions I have seen so far. So how will it do in the Oscar race? Despite my reflections of the film, I think this has an outside chance to make the shortlist, and this is because of 2 reasons. First, it's a Netflix distributed film, which often does well in the category. It also has a director who's done well in the category before with The Mole Agent, and that sometimes, name alone, can sometimes drag momentum into getting onto the shortlist. However, the reviews have been okay, but not exceptional, and I'm not quite sure it's got the momentum it needs to get into that final 15. If we look at Chile's history at the Oscars, they are the 33rd most successful country out of all the countries that have submitted films for the category. This is because they have won the award with A Fantastic Woman in 2017, The Mole Agent having received a nomination, as well as Pablo Larraín's No, which got to the shortlisting stage. And if we look at Chile's success, it's within the last 10 years mainly, with their winner nomination happening in that time period. This makes Chile the 17th most successful country at the Oscars in the last 10 years. I'm not quite sure In Her Place will add to this success, but we will wait and see. So if you want to follow the Oscar race and see how well In Her Place does, as well as the many other films submitted, please do like this video and subscribe to my channel.